Hello, hello. I don't know why this is doing that. It's like automatic. My volume is automatically turning down on me. I don't know why. I'm going to have to like double check this every time. I'm guessing you can hear me now. I'm guessing because this was the same thing. I don't know. I think I ruined my stupid video thing. What a dumb thing, eh? Anyways, uh, there is zero audio, my good man. Still. There it is. Okay, so there we go. I'm gonna have to double check my settings on here and see. Last week, if you didn't tune in last week, I tried to do something kind of. I was trying to be fun with something, and I guess I messed up my settings in the process. So hopefully I've got this figured out now. I hope. But I don't like that you guys couldn't hear me. That's not good. But it's working now. So that's all that matters. You didn't miss much. But thank you guys all for joining the chat. Scary Good Movies is in the chat. Mandy Cantone's in the chat. Michelle is in the chat. Thank you so much for tuning in, everybody. I appreciate it very much. And if you are new here, please do hit that like and subscribe button. You know where it is. It's somewhere over here somewhere. Down there? I don't know. It's one of those nights, I guess, eh? I was saying before you could hear me that this might be my last show of the year. I am going to try to squeeze one in. I think I can squeeze one in next week. This weekend is very, very busy for me. All kinds of Christmas stuff. Maybe just before Christmas. I think on maybe like Monday or something. We'll see. Monday or Tuesday next week, I'll try to squeeze a show in. Maybe a Christmas horror movie special. Ooh. So what are your favorite Christmas horror movies? Maybe I should check out some of this. There's a few I haven't checked out yet. I've been meaning to check out. I still haven't seen Krampus. Hear mixed things about it though, so I don't know what to think. You know. Obviously, I've seen Black Christmas. That's like one of my all-time favorite films. So, but we gotta talk more. It's that and Silent Night, Deadly Night are like the only two that can really say I've seen. I think, and I know there's some good ones. I've heard there's some good ones. Anyways, so yeah, I hope all is good with everybody. But yeah, that's what I'll maybe do next week. But yeah, like and subscribe. Also, shout out to Michelle Appollonia, Breathless Beauties. She's got some new stuff too, but you've seen these ones before, so unless, of course, you're new here. Very cool stuff she's got. The Leatherface, I think that's my new favorite. But she's got something for the Christmas people out there. Oh, we'll check this one out. It's, poor Santa, poor elf. Pretty creepy though. Oh boy. Yes, Michelle Appollonia of Breathless Beauties. She's in the chat. Yeah, she is in the chat. Yes, check out her stuff. Her links are in the description, everybody. Awesome stuff. You hear me talk about it every week, and I love it. I love her stuff, so I'll share it and just hit her up. And check out again. Just check out her Facebook and Instagram. Again, links in the description, folks. Laughing Bat. I'm not sure we've had you in the chat before. Nice to see you, Laughing Bat. I think you're new. Let me know if you're new. But yeah, I don't recall you before. No worries, Michelle. Always there to help support fellow artists. I'm always there to support fellow artists. And speaking of fellow artists, we've been working with Joe from Fangoria Faithful. He's a great graphic artist. Man, I hope he can make it into the chat tonight, but if not a big deal. But he's a great guy. We got new things brewing for the Sawyer Massacre next Indiegogo campaign, and I think you guys are just gonna love what we're putting together. I don't want to spoil anything for you guys, but let's just say there's a lot of stuff happening these days. Hard for me to keep it up. Hey, you've been here before, Isabella. Okay, so it was under a different YouTube name, I take it then. I've had a couple Isabellas, I think, on here before. So I'm pretty sure. Yeah. But is it a different YouTube account that you're using now with Laughing Bat, or you just changed the name? People do that. I wonder if I should change the name to my YouTube channel. Let me know if you guys think I should. I mean, this playlist is Merlo's Movie Massacre, but my YouTube channel is just Steve Merlo. I don't know. It's just my name, Steve Merlo. But, I like saying my name. So, I don't know. You guys let me know what you think. Should I change the name of my YouTube account? Maybe so, maybe no. I don't know. Anyways, moving on. Was there anything else I was supposed to mention? Yeah, just Sawyer Massacre. Stuff is brewing for our next Indiegogo campaign. So yes, come March 1st is when we're going to launch the next campaign. It's going to be a doozy. It's going to be a doozy. And we're taking pre-orders right now. You guys can pre-order. Laughing Bat, I did. Okay, so you were Isabella before. Was it Isabella something? I can't even. Anyways. It's all good. Should I just, Josh is saying maybe I should just change the whole name of the channel to Merlo's Movie Massacre. Just, I want to have other content on here other than this live show. So, I don't know. It's something to think about. Yeah, I don't know. I'll have to, because I do want to still do other content, have my movie trailers and short films and other stuff, random stuff. I went back and looked at the first video I did recently. I'm like, oh yeah, that was my first video. It was like, have any of you guys ever seen that unicorn and Banff video that went viral many years ago? My first video was a parody of that. We found I was just walking walking down the road. Well, not the road. I was by a road, but we had this swamp area nearby, and I saw this great blue heron just sitting there. So I decided to just take a video of it and do a parody of that. You guys can go back, if you guys look back from like 6-7 years ago, you'll see that video. It's kind of funny. I don't know. It's funny if you guys know the unicorn and Banff video. Yeah, just if it's a horror theme. Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, I gotta stick horror, or maybe make a new YouTube I don't know. I don't want to make a new YouTube channel strictly for horror. I've already built this one up to over 800 subscribers, so I want to keep it that way. Yeah. Or maybe I'll just make a new YouTube channel for other things. Maybe. That's not a bad idea. Keep this one horror, and then for separate things. Yeah, I could do that. Why not, eh? Anyways. I think that's all I really wanted to talk about as far as that goes. So, good night, everybody. No, I'm just kidding. No, we got to have a fun discussion about horror remakes tonight. This is just we're going to keep it kind of loose with this one here, guys. I haven't seen every horror remake out there. And so, I mean, I can only talk about the ones that I've personally seen. And, some of them I like. Some of them I really don't like. Some of them are kind of, meh. And that's, but I should preface this whole video with this whole thing, the whole topic, just by saying right off the bat, I am not against remakes. I'm really not. I know some people are dead against remakes. They're like, don't remake any movie. And I think there's some movies that you definitely shouldn't remake. And some of those movies I'm gonna talk about tonight. But there's some that you can. I think there are certain things you can look at when it comes to a remake. It's not necessarily that maybe the original was a bad movie, but I mean, if the original movie was not a good movie, not such a good movie, but it had a good idea behind it, those are usually the types of movies that I find remake worthy. It wasn't well executed the first time, but the idea, it has a good idea that just wasn't, whether it was a budget or, um, or it's just dated. Maybe it was something from the 50s or 60s, that, again, just had a good idea and, but wasn't executed, you know. And as far as other movie, here's another top. We can have a few little topics as far as remakes go throughout the night. What's a film you would want to see remade? And again, for those of you in the chat that are like, I don't want to see any movie. I'm against remakes. Obviously, you won't. Obviously, you wouldn't participate in that. But I think that there are a few movies out there that could be remade. And again, I was one of those people first in line to see the Texas Chainsaw Massacre remake, even though the original is my favorite horror movie of all time. But the fact is, I recognize that there was a limited amount of stuff that they could do with that movie, mostly because of budget, and also because they were actually trying to go for a PG rating with that film. And I just felt like there was, it was a good time to remake that film, and I thought they could have made it better than it was. But anyways, again, as far as remakes go, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre remake is one of the better ones. I just wish that they would have done a few things a little bit differently. I've always thought Manos, the Hands of Fate could have been the Hands of Fate could use a decent remake. I've never seen the original, so how old is that movie? Is that an older one or just a poorly made movie? Who knows? But that's what I'm talking about. It's something that didn't quite get made properly. There was an idea there, but maybe they didn't have the funds. Maybe it was some indie guy like me that just funded it himself, a few $1,000. Like Birdemic, right? Birdemic. That guy made that film for like $20,000. And it's awful. But is there a good idea there? No. There really is. I just really had no... No, that was just terrible. Suli Lopez, hi, how are you? I'm doing good. Scary Good Movies. Now, it was 1964, so it was older. It's probably dated, right? So it's probably a dated film. So, yeah, it's probably a good contender. I'll have to check out the original. Again, it all depends on the idea. Is there a good idea there, Yeah. The film is considered to be one of the worst films ever made. It was directed by a manure salesman who made a bet with a friend that he could make a movie. Geez, are we talking about Birdemic now? Or are we talking about the Hand of Fate? Manos, the Hands of Fate. Now I'm lost. No, but if you are talking about Birdemic, I know. I think, yeah, because it's something like that. But it was terrible. Remake of Night of the Living Dead from 1990 was actually pretty good. You know what? I was gonna put that on my list, but I didn't for some reason. I think I just forgot. I did think about it, but actually it isn't bad. And I'm not a zombie guy myself, but I remember seeing that version and I thought, oh, okay, that's not bad for a zombie movie. But I am not your zombie guy. I am not. So, just keep that in mind. Dawn of the Dead remake. I never even saw it. I'm going to be honest. Zombies do nothing for me, guys. But, it's different strokes for different folks, right? Anyways, how are you guys doing? So let's talk about some different horror films. So we're going to kind of go with stuff, I don't like a bunch of these films. There's a lot of horror films that not to like, but there are some that you can like. So let's start with this one here. A friend of mine said, let's go see this film together. I had seen one of Rob Zombie's films prior to this. So we're talking Halloween 2007, Rob Zombie's Halloween. Uh, I just remember my theater experience in this one just being very like, what? What? It was a hard film for me to process. I haven't gone back to watch it since. It just kind of remembering everything that happened in the movie, and honestly, I mean, the original Halloween is one of my favorite horror films of all times. Dude, you're missing out on seeing. Yeah, I'm not seeing the Dawn of the Dead remake. I don't know. I just not again, just not a zombie guy. It's hard to get me to watch a zombie film because zombies do nothing for me. I can't really. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. Would you say that even for a guy who's not a zombie guy? Like, I don't know. It's more people got to comment on that one. Anyways, going back to Halloween, it was a hard film to process after I had seen it. I think I don't like the origin story. I'm just the whole first half just felt very very unnecessary to me. And it felt like two different movies. It really did. It's like everything changed halfway through the film, and it. If you wanted to make a prequel, maybe that could have been a good origin story prequel if they would have finished that movie, but they didn't. And it's like, now we're gonna jump ahead. It felt very very uneven and awkward to me. I did not care for it. I don't know. Um, then I mean, were there some good points in it? Sure, I guess. I don't know. I'm just trying to think. It's been a while since I've seen it. Some of the acting was okay. I thought what's his name played Loomis was okay. He was no Donald Pleasance, but he's a good actor. Um, Surprisingly, Brad Dourif didn't do it for me too much, and I was wanting to like his version of Sheriff Brackett more than I did. And I mean, I love Brad Dourif as Chucky. He is a great actor. I don't know. It was okay. He was okay as Sheriff Brackett, but he wasn't as good as I was hoping. As good as I was hoping he would be, and um, I didn't feel like I was seeing a Michael Myers, The Shape. I wasn't. Again, I get it. He's doing his own take on it. It didn't do anything for me. It wasn't scary. It just didn't scare me. So I mean, I don't like it. I know it has its fan base. I'm not hating on it on people that like the movie. It's not for me. It really isn't. Not for me. But I know, again, there's a fan base for it. Rob Zombie's really missed for me. I don't. I've I cut him off at Halloween 2. Once I saw Halloween 2, I was like, nope. I just can't do any more of his movies. They're not made for me. There's an audience for it, but it's not for me. That's just I don't know. I think it is, Uh anyways. Moving on a little bit. Um but what is the most hated horror remake? Um some would probably say this one here. Psycho from 1998. Now, granted, I think the hate for this film is it's it's deserved, but at the same time, if if I can look at this film and say it was the only film, if there was no original Psycho, I could say, okay, it's got good acting, it's got good cinematography, the story, but the fact is, it was just a carbon copy, like shot for shot remake. It really was. Like, maybe there's one or two. Maybe there's a few shots that aren't exactly like the but like the original. But for the most part, it's a shot for shot remake, and it's just so unnecessary. Why do it? Um, Yeah, why would you do it? You're not gonna make it better by doing that. I mean, so I think Psycho is probably one of those movies that shouldn't have ever been remade. Same with Halloween, and let me touch on Halloween again here too. Here's why it shouldn't be remade. Why it shouldn't have been remade. Again, it's the remake's done. It's done, and there's nothing you can do about it. And at the end of the day, it doesn't stop the original from being a classic, a great film. It doesn't, but that doesn't mean it should be remade. So I'm going to tell you why I don't think it should have been remade, and that's because Halloween. We're talking about Halloween here. Halloween has an atmosphere that just cannot be duplicated. It cannot be duplicated. It cannot be improved on. So you're setting yourself up for lower right off the bat. Even though I don't think some of the acting in Halloween is very good. Yeah, there is some choppy acting from some of the younger actors in Halloween. I can look at that and still say you just can't touch it. You're never going to be able to duplicate that kind of atmosphere that Carpenter created. It was masterfully directed by Carpenter. Carpenter really showed he's a directing master, and is well edited too. And well, the cinematography was really, really, really good for the low budget that they had. They couldn't make a better film. Just saying. There's some, it's right off the bat. It's Halloween. You're in that Halloween. It doesn't matter what time of year you're watching the film. You will feel Halloween when you're watching that film. Even though it was made in California rather than where is Haddonfield supposed to take place? Illinois or something like that? I think it's Illinois. Totally different place. But they did a good job making it feel like that. With the, I guess they had like 2 or 3 garbage bags of leaves that they, even the actors had to help clean up the leaves, that they were doing. I don't know. Michelle B is in the chat as well. Yeah, John Carpenter is my favorite. I you know what? That's a great statement. I think he probably is the best horror director. He might be one of the best. He's could be one of the best directors of all time for sure. He's definitely in the top 5. Because he doesn't just do horror, but he does horror very well. But I mean, he's got films like Big Trouble in Little China. There's a little bit of horror elements to it. He's got he can do a lot, man. This guy can do a lot. Obviously, he's not really doing it anymore. He's pretty much retired now, other than doing. I mean, he's executive producing the new Halloween films, which we'll see. We'll see how the new one is. A lot of people say it's really good. We'll find out next year. Anyways, but I want to talk a little bit more about Halloween, a little bit more, and but of course, I went out and saw it because I'm a Halloween fan. I saw the Halloween remake because I'm a fan of the original. I went out and I saw the Texas Chainsaw Massacre remake because I'm such a fan of the original. But with Texas Chainsaw Massacre, I have to admit, I do feel like they could have made a great remake. It was halfway there. It was. I feel like the remake was halfway there. Too bad. It is what it is. What can I say? Okay, what else can we talk? What other films can we talk about? I got a list of films here. Let's talk about these next couple films. Get a lot of hate as well. I don't hate on them as much as everybody, but I do feel like they are kind of unnecessary. And at the end of the day, I don't really like them. That's for sure. I don't like them. I don't hate them either. I just kind of don't like them. And that's the Nightmare on Elm Street remake from 2010, I believe. and the Friday the 13th remake from 2009. So they're really close to each other. I mentioned these two films together. I guess because they're part of the big three. They're like your big horror franchises, like Halloween. Um, and those they're they're popular films, and these are movies that we're not getting a lot. Well, I guess Freddy versus Jason was fairly recent, actually, not too long before these. Um, Scary Good Movies asked, did I see Leatherface, the most recent one? Yes, when it was free, when it was free for me to watch online, I watched it. I don't really have much to say about it. Did you see it? Did you see it? What did you think about it? I am a Texas Chainsaw Massacre guy, but really I'm an original Texas Chainsaw Massacre guy. But yeah, I saw it. I did see it. I liked the movie better the first time I saw it, when it was about twice as long and called The Godfather. Anyways, I know if you've seen my past videos, you've heard me make comparisons to The Godfather. Yeah, but anyways, not that Leatherface is anywhere near as good as The Godfather. But anyways, let's talk about we're getting off topic here again. Um, the Friday the 13th remake. I just I missed the beginning of it, so I can't fully, but I can't. It was kind of feeling like just another Friday the 13th film at the end of the day for me. It wasn't really feeling like a remake to me, because it was so Jason focused and not, it didn't have the same, it didn't have anywhere near the same story. So, I mean, it didn't feel like a remake to me. I honestly felt like they could have called it Friday the 13th 11, or so. How many of these films have they made now? Be something like the 11th or 12th one, something like that. That's just my opinion. As a movie, whether you call it a remake or not, it was kind of bland, but I mean, it wasn't awful. I didn't find it awful, but everybody's different. You did. Oh, you actually loved it. Okay, well, we differ there. We definitely differ there. The deleted alternate scenes made for a better film. Well, maybe it did. I don't think I saw any deleted or alternate scenes. But the story just was. It didn't feel like a Texas Chainsaw Massacre story. I'll say that. It wasn't even shot in Texas. It didn't feel like Texas just looking at it. I recently watched the Nightmare remake and didn't really know what to make of it. Didn't even watch all of it. Yeah, again, I do think this one. I think the Nightmare remake gets a little bit more hate than it deserves. It's not really great, that's for sure. It's not a great film by any stretch of the matter, but a lot of people really trash this film. And I kind of feel bad for the actor that played Freddy, because I mean, the fact is Robert Englund is Freddy. I mean, he's not literally Freddy, but he pretty much is Freddy. And anybody that takes on that role, I feel, is just gonna get mud thrown at them, poop thrown at them for their performance, because it's not Robert Englund. Yeah, that's all I can really say about that. I mean, was the guy a bad actor that played Freddy? No, he wasn't. He was okay. He's not Robert Englund though, and it's the makeup job on him looks kind of weird. I guess they did some CGI on that makeup. They did like some CGI burns that looked goofy, and I think it would have looked better if they hadn't had that. But that's just me. But it's A Nightmare on Elm Street. Just it's one. again, it's not one of my favorite films. I like the original Nightmare on Elm Street, but I just don't feel like it's one you can really remake. Again, it's even though it's not one of my favorite films, I don't feel like it's I don't feel like you can really add to it. I just don't feel. I know they added the pedophile stuff to it, but I don't know. There's the subtlety in the original it made it better. I don't know. In my opinion, again, some people, and you know what, the film has its following. There are some people that like the remake. Jackie Earl Haley played the remake Freddy. Don't feel bad. He's Rorschach from the Watchmen movie. Oh, I didn't like the Watchmen either. Another movie my friend dragged me out to, and I'm not much of a comic book movie guy though. I'm really not. So I was watching that movie like, what the hell's going on? I didn't get it, but I'm not much of a comic book film guy. So he was in that movie as well. Well, there you go. And Scary Good Movies. Yes, I knew that those movies were also done by Platinum Dooms, who did the TCM remake from 2003. Michael Bay. You know, uh, it was just kind of meh. I don't know what to say. Michael Bay is kind of meh, in my opinion. He's had some decent movies. The Rock. I don't mind the first Transformers movie. It is what it is. Anyways, we won't. That's another topic for another day. Anyways, where was I? I think that's all I really have to say about those films. Tell me, guys, did you like them? Did you hate them? 50-50 on them, says Anthony Jackson. So they're 50-50. That means does that mean you're just kind of down the middle, I guess, I don't know. I don't hate them, but I definitely don't like them either. They don't feel necessary. That's the best way. A lot of these remakes don't feel necessary, and I guess at the end of the day, no remake is really necessary. No film period is really necessary, but is there a wanting for them? And I don't think people wanted remakes to Nightmare on Elm Street and Friday the 13th, but they got made. They got made, and eventually we're gonna get a remake of Jaws. I know, like we did a video a while back now talking about Jaws and the potential. When is this remake of Jaws actually going to happen? It feels inevitable, but it still hasn't happened. Maybe there won't be a remake of Jaws, but at the end of the day, if there is a remake of Jaws in the next few years, which there might be, I can still just watch the original. I can still just watch the original, and I'm okay with it. Moving on here. Another one I want to talk about, just briefly touch on, The Fog. Another one I felt very, very unnecessary. Again, don't touch Carpenter. That's all I could say. I saw this movie like 10 years ago. I've forgotten it. It was boring. I thought it was boring. But tell me if you like it. I don't know. I don't know. I don't have much else I can really say about that movie. Mostly because I forgot most of it. Because it was so forgettable. I did not enjoy my viewing experience. And I am one of those guys, you know what? I'm one of those guys that tries to avoid watching bad movies. How did I watch that movie? I definitely didn't watch it in theater. I think I watched it with at a friend's house or something. I think. Oh, it was so long ago now. Oh boy. But yeah, I did not enjoy my viewing experience, and I've just kind of forgotten it. Let me know what you think about the Fog remake, but I was not a fan. I was not a fan. So keep that pretty short on that movie because, again, it's just, Scary Good Movie says and they're forgettable. I'm not sure if you're talking about that movie, but you're probably talking about something else. I'm not keeping up with the chat enough. I can't keep up with the chat enough anymore. Sorry, guys. I just can't seem to keep up with the chat these days, so sorry. When people think to Michelle Blasky says, when people think to go watch Nightmare, they watch it to see Freddy, and the new one was just a different Freddy. Yeah, that's an accurate observation, Michelle. It's too bad that I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't say that. It's too bad people weren't more open to different interpretations of characters. But the fact is, I mean, Robert Englund did that role so well that that's why you don't want to see anybody play that character. He did the character so well. Oh, Joe came on, Fangoria. I gave you a bit of a plug there, Joe. Just so you know. Earlier, you'll have to go back and rewatch the show. Hey Steve, hope you can do it. Hope I can do what? What can I do? I can do a lot of stuff. I can make a fool of myself in front of you guys, that's for sure. Like I do. This is the 13th time now. Well, I don't mind. I just have no shame. That's the truth of the matter. You were talking the Fog. Okay, there you go. Yeah, it's just forgettable. Scary Good Movie says, yeah, it's a forgettable movie. Tell me in the comments if you like the Fog. They made a fast version of the new one. I think I know what you're talking about there, Joe. But yeah, thank you for tuning in. By the way, we missed you the last episode. I might not have let you know. I'm not sure. I try to message everybody on Instagram and Facebook about this thing. I think most of you guys I met on Instagram though. I think so. That's all good. Tell me in the comments. Tell me where I met you from. Did I meet you from Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Reddit? I haven't been on Reddit much these days. I don't know. I probably should get back on Reddit. But people are kind of jerks on Reddit. They are. I don't let it bother me too much, but geez, like every time somebody's got something snarky to say to one of my posts, so whatever. I like the original Fog. Yeah, I like the original Fog too, Josh. Yeah, remake was boring. That's all I can remember. It was boring. It was, yeah. Yeah, Mandy Cantone says Insta. Yes. Yeah, I think most of you guys I know from Insta. But, I may have met some of you from other places. Scary Good Movies, Instagram. Michelle, Instagram. Yeah. I guess I found a good thing for Instagram, actually. Because I was having trouble with Instagram when I first got on there. I was like, what do I do on Instagram? I have no idea what to do. And, when I launched my Indiegogo campaign, had to figure it out a little bit. Had to grow an audience, and because it's a better. I found it's a better tool than Facebook. Facebook is kind of you post stuff on Facebook, and mostly nobody cares. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. Oops, I meant they made a fast version of the original to try to hang out. Just lots happening. Oh, I see. I get you now. Didn't even know that there was a Anthony Jackson. You didn't even know there was a remake of the Fog. Yes, there was. There was. But again, I've even forgotten it. I hate people that leave snarky comments on fan film posts. Yeah. I don't know. I don't let it bother me too much. Facebook is boring. You know what? I've been on Facebook forever though. It was hard for me to get out of Facebook and even Twitter. Like I've had Twitter for a while, but haven't done much on Twitter. So it's hard for me to really. I think that's where I met Josh from Camp Blood Media, though, was Twitter. I thought. Oh yeah, I think we met on Twitter. There you go. He tagged me in this Sword Massacre post. Hey, there you go. I just tagged you. I don't know. I don't know. I probably. I don't even know. And then he did a fan trailer reaction of the Sawyer Massacre trailer. Which is it's still getting views. It's not as many views as it was getting before, but it's crept over 4,000, 165 likes on it now. It's like more than double than any other video on my channel. So, anyways, just saying, the support is awesome. If you haven't seen the trailer for the Sawyer Massacre, go check it out. But I'm sure most of you have. But if not, maybe you're new here and you haven't seen our fan film trailer, Texas Chainsaw Massacre fan film that we are filming in September in Texas, as we're only 15K short of our goal, of our Texas goal. I know we're making it to Texas. Yeah. I don't want to shoot it in Canada, boys. Don't let me shoot this film in Canada. Or Bulgaria. Anyways. Yeah, some of you know what that means. Yeah. Bulgaria, of all places. Moving on. Oh my God, I totally lost where I was. Okay, I want to talk about Black Christmas now, guys. As you guys know, I'm a huge fan of the original. There are now 2 remakes for Black Christmas. 2 remakes for Black Christmas, which is kind of weird because the original Black Christmas was never a big, massive, super well-known film. It's not a Freddy or a Jason or a Michael Myers, yet it's got 2 remakes. They felt it necessary to remake it twice. And both of them I'll say this. I haven't seen the new one, but I've seen the new one. Now, some of you probably don't know what the hell's he talking about when he says he's seen it, but he hasn't seen it. Well, I saw the trailer, and for fuck's sakes, they gave away the whole frickin' film. They did. They gave, I watched that movie, I watched that trailer, and I was like, I just watched that whole film there. I just watched that whole movie. I watched the whole movie in that trailer because they just gave everything away. It's a terrible trailer, by the way. I mean, whoever cut that trailer should be fired. You gave away the whole movie. You literally did. There's a channel called Previewed that did a trailer reaction to that, and the reaction is absolutely hilarious. But the guy these 2 guys, they did the trailer reaction. They're both like, we just saw this whole movie, and one of them makes a comment of like, these guys, this whole group of sorority killing these girls, and the other guy's like, yeah, it's to appease the statue gods, and apparently the statue gods thing was actually really a thing. They weren't just kind of throwing a red herring. There was no. Apparently that was true. Like, you thought maybe it wouldn't go that ridiculous, and that's just kind of like a joke, the whole statue thing, but it was. He knew it. It's like he hit the nail on the head without probably realizing that truly was a plot point of that film. So, needless to say, I refuse to watch it. I refuse out of respect for the original, and because I feel like I watched the whole movie in that trailer, and I know what I get all this Me Too stuff and all that. So I'm not saying, I know that women have had it hard in the industry, and women have been shafted so much, and so I get that, but do we need to make a whole movie around it? Somebody in the industry said that it's not a movie. The remake for Black Christmas was not a movie with a statement. It was a statement with a movie. and I I'm sorry if I'm ignoring the chat here, guys, but I just feel so. I totally understand that. I don't remember who it was that made that statement, but it was somebody on Rotten Tomatoes, I guess, some critic on Rotten Tomatoes, and I felt that without even having seen the movie. I just saw the trailer. Anyways, going to the chat. They should have called it something else. Not even gonna watch the new one. Not even close to the. I mean, never get close to the original. Camp Blood Media said a few things. Director Bob Clark, director of Black Christmas, also did Christmas Story. Yeah, I know that. He didn't originally want to do horror actually, but when he was new in the business, they told him you're either doing horror, the whatever companies you're gonna do horror or porno. I would have chosen porno. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Well, no. No, I'm doing horror. Jeez, I'm staying in horror for. I would like to venture out eventually, but I guess after Black Christmas, Bob Clark made enough of a name for himself that he could explore other avenues, which I would like to do someday too. But I'll stick in horror for a little bit because I got too many good horror ideas for films. I got too many scripts just sitting there. What else did I miss in the chat? I got to go back a bit and read you guys here. If you shoot in Canada, though, I'd love to help out. Josh, well, you're on the East Coast, though, aren't you? So that's still a bit, I think it's probably a closer drive for you to go to Texas than it is to go to BC. I think. I could be wrong, but you're where are you again? You're like in Halifax or something like that. Anyways, you like the 2006 one? I don't. Oh shoot! Can everybody still see me? I hit the wire on this thing. Sorry, guys. Is everything okay? Hopefully everybody can see me. I accidentally knocked the wire out of my camera. Hopefully you guys can. Hopefully I didn't disconnect myself for too long. Do a remake of Porky, says Joe. Sorry about that. Yeah, but Josh was saying he likes the remake of the 2006 remake, and I know that a lot of people do like that one. I just kind of felt it was soulless. I didn't like the characters. I didn't like the ending of the 2006 remake. Someday in the future, I'm gonna do a best endings video. I don't know if I'll keep it just horror or not, but there will definitely be a lot of horror. There's a lot of good horror endings, and I wanna do a ranking of best endings. I might have to stretch it out to other films, but we'll see. We'll see, because I'm an endings kind of guy. What else was I gonna say about that? Yeah, the 2006 remake. Yeah, I didn't like it. It had some good kills, some good gore, but again, gore doesn't do much for me. I like things more subtle. I didn't like the yellow skin on Billy. I didn't like the whole backstory of Billy. To me, the genius of the original was that Billy has a ton of backstory. The character of Billy has a ton of backstory, and you don't even realize it because it sounds like gibberish. Every time he's on the phone, he's telling you his story. He really is. I mean, watch it with subtitles on. You'll see what I'm talking about. Anyways, I hope I am back. Say something in the comments if you guys can still see me and all that. I hope I didn't disconnect the whole thing. Maybe I should go check just to be sure. But say something in the comments if I am still live or not. Looks like I am. Just nobody's saying anything at the moment. There we go. Good. I am still on. There we go. Where am I here? Sorry, guys. I had to get all my stuff back in order. Sorry about the whole whacking the cord. I'm doing this from my phone. I'm not doing it from a professional camera. I do have a decent camera that I could use, but I can't seem to figure out how to connect it with OBS and all that. So I don't know. I'm using my phone because that was the only way I could do it. My first few shows I was using the webcam from my computer, and I just hated the quality. So I switched to my phone. It's better. It's still not awesome quality, but it's a lot better than my webcam was. What else do we have here in the chat? Michelle Blasky says, okay, I didn't know there were two. The original is my favorite. Yeah, there you go. Marco Kidder is great, even though she's not in it long. Yeah, she's not in it too long. Well, she gets killed at a certain point. Oh, spoiler warning. Saw the remake of the recent one, I think. Yeah, you know what? Go check out the 2006 one. It's a little bit kind of, it's definitely more campy. The backstory of Billy is, to me, it's unnecessary. Not a big fan of that, and the fact that I don't know, they made him look all yellow and stuff. I don't know. It to me, I like that you don't see Billy in the original. I like that you hear his creepy voice, and boy, is it ever creepy. Apparently, it was 2 or 3 people voicing Billy, including Bob Clark, the director, was one of the voices of Billy. And the eye scene is just his eye in the, yeah, you guys know what I'm talking about. New Exchange FE. Yeah, I remember that. That's a great line from that's Margot Kidder. There you go. She was great in that movie. Canadian as well. A lot of Canadians, I think, were in that. Andrew Martin was in that. John Saxon's not, no, but definitely those two. There's probably more, and I just don't realize it. But anyways, moving on. Yeah, the 2006 is watchable. I only watched it once, but I know it has its fan base. It's definitely, you're gonna like it more than the new one, I think. Unless you like the new one, maybe. But it sounds like most people just hate it. And yeah, life's too short for me to go watch a movie I know is gonna suck, so I won't go watch it. But anyways, moving on a bit, because we're getting close to 9:00 already, and haven't even talked about any that I really like. There aren't a lot of horror remakes that I like, though, guys. There just really isn't. Here's one that I kind of like. I like it. I can say I like it. It probably gets about a 6 out of 10 for me, which you might say, oh, God, that's kind of hard. 6 out of 10 is a solid film for me. It's a solid film. It's a watchable film. I can go back to it and watch it a second time. It's not something I'm going to rewatch a lot. It's not, it's going to be a film that I have problems with, but at the same time, it's enjoyable. And that would be this film, the remake of The Hills Have Eyes. I did like it. I do think it could have been better. I'll be honest, I wasn't a massive fan of the original, though. I'm not, even the original, I don't know. I probably liked the remake better than the original. The remake is a little bit too close to the original in my books. I kind of wish it went a little bit, I don't know. The same characters, same storyline. Like, the whole storyline is pretty much the same. They just kind of had better makeup, better actors. So, I mean, there were more mutant type of people you could buy them as mutants a lot better than you could in the original, I find. But I kind of wish there was more mystique to them. I kind of wish we didn't know everything about all the characters. I don't know. I don't know. But I'm a huge fan of Ted Levine, famous for playing Buffalo Bill in The Silence of the Lambs. He was in that movie. As soon as I saw he was in the movie, I'm like, I'm in. I do love him. My wife and I not too long ago finished watching the whole series of Monk, and he's great in that TV show. And Ted Levine was also in my favorite remake of all time. I don't know if I've talked about it on this. Probably talked as an honorable mention when I did my top 10 movies of all time, and that's Heat. A lot of people don't realize that Heat is a remake. Ted Levine was in that. Yeah, he didn't have a huge role in that, but he's good though. He's good. He's kind of the he. I was surprised. There's lines he had in Heat that he would reprise in Monk throughout the series. Anyways, I won't go too far into that. I'm like, oh my god, that's from Heat, and and he's doing it exactly the same. Anyways, but yeah. Anyways, yeah, the Hills Have Eyes remake. I enjoy it though. I can say I enjoy it. They did up it a little bit with the gore. Again, it's not my favorite. Neither film is my favorite, though. I mean, I probably, if I was going to watch one of them, though, I would choose to watch the remake over the original. You know, I don't know. That's just my opinion. What do we got going on in the chat? Remake was way better than the original. Original is kind of boring. Yeah, there you go. Oh, Michelle Appollonia says, I like the remake of Old Boy. Ooh. Haven't seen that remake. Okay. I'll have to check that out. Sequel is better than the original sequel as well. There was an original sequel to The Hills Have Eyes. I didn't see that one then. Is it like an exact copy? I shouldn't say that the remake is an exact copy of the original Hills. It's not like Psycho, that's for sure. But the storyline is pretty much it's pretty much beat for beat the same. I kind of wish they changed it a little bit more in the remake. I think there was potential to change the story more in the remake for The Hills Have Eyes than they did. But, it's different enough, I guess, that I can still watch it and still be like, yeah, it's pretty good. It's not bad. It's not bad. Could have potentially been better in my books. It could have. Anyways, that's all I have to say about that. Because it's 9:00 now. Yeah, there's an old Hills. I'll have to look for that now. I didn't know that that was a Wes Craven film, the original one, right? He's kind of hit and miss with me, Wes Craven, so I don't know. I didn't like the original. This is a remake I haven't seen, was The Last House on the Left. I didn't really care much for the original of that one either. Let me know in the comments if the remake is worth watching. Again, I don't want to watch it if it's a carbon copy of the original. I didn't really like the original, but do need to see that one. I know there's tons of remakes I still haven't seen. I still haven't seen the remake for When a Stranger Calls. Again, a lot of people said it's bad, so I just didn't bother. I haven't seen what else haven't I seen? There's probably a bunch that I'm just not thinking of them right now. But you guys tell me, what's a remake I should go see? What is a remake I should go see? That I should actually spend the time looking for? Find it on Netflix or YouTube or whatever streaming service I possibly can. What's one that you think is actually worth it for me to watch? Keeping in mind that I don't like zombies. I don't like ghost stories. There's another remake I didn't care much for. It was the Amityville Horror, kind of a demonic, ghost. It's not really a ghost story. It's more demonic, the devil, whatever. Didn't care much for that. I like Ryan Reynolds, but I didn't feel that one either. But again, I don't care that much for the original Amityville Horror either. So, Camp Blood Media, I like the Child's Play remake. Okay, now that's cool. I want to talk about this one real quick, as I haven't seen it yet. I haven't seen the Child's Play remake, but from what I've been told, it shouldn't have really been a remake because it's not the same. Am I correct in saying that? It's nothing like the original. Apparently, that it's not Charles Lee Ray the killer. It was a robot doll. It was like a robot doll instead. Am I right? The doll is a robot, right? Chucky is a robot in the remake. So I'm sure it was a good film, but if that's the case, if it's not really a remake, like if they're just using the name, kind of like how the new Black Christmas was really not a remake. I mean, it's really they really just used the name, set it at Christmas time. There you go. Right? It's nothing to do with Billy. Um, Billy is Black Christmas. I'm sorry, no Billy. It's no Billy, no Black Christmas, right? So yeah, there's no voodoo. But the doll is a robot in the remake, right? It's supposed to be a robot, not a possessed doll like it was in the original. So no voodoo. I'm guessing that's yeah. So anyways, so I don't know. I'm interested to see it. I still haven't seen it. I don't feel like Chucky is something you can really remake. Yeah, Chucky is just a robot, no voodoo. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I don't know. Again, always kind of felt that it didn't need Child's Play never really needed a sequel either. Even though I liked the second film a lot, I liked the second film quite a lot. I think I talked about that last week. But again, it's that moment of Chucky coming alive. You can just never recap. That to me was the whole gimmick behind Child's Play. But and CGI is CGI dolls are never gonna top that. I'm sorry, but we've seen enough CGI over the last 20 years to, yeah, it's been done. Is it that good? Is the CGI that convincing? I don't know. I saw images of it online for the new Chucky doll. I was like not impressed. So, but whoops, that typed twice. What typed twice? I don't see any double typing there, Josh. I don't know. Anyways, that's how I feel about that. Yeah, that's all I can say. The doll isn't CGI. It's not, eh? Sure, it looks like it. What is like? I don't know. It's very odd looking. I don't. It doesn't look like it's like it's a real thing. Maybe just a weird looking doll. I don't know. There's only one scene I think where he jumps in CGI. Huh. I'll have to look at that again. Maybe it's just a weird design of the doll that just makes me think it looks like bad CGI. I don't know. I haven't seen the movie. I've only seen images online, and to me, it doesn't look that good to me. But I don't know. But I'm picky, guys. I'm a picky. I'm picky when it comes to that. So let's now talk about my personal creme de la creme of horror remakes, the ones I can go to anytime. We're running out of time, so I got to make these quick. I wanted to spend more time on this, but geez, I got to get going here in about 5 minutes. So, and that's The Thing and The Fly. I think there's no surprises here, guys. I think you can expect to see those films in your best horror remakes. I'm sure there's other great ones out there that I just haven't seen. But at the end of the day, are they better than these films? I love The Thing. I love The Fly. They were both really, really well done remakes. As I've heard the debate many times that The Thing is not really a remake. It's a different take on a book, whatever, It's still a remake in my opinion. I don't know, it depends on what you classify as a remake. But to me, it's a remake. And Carpenter is the best. That's all I can say. Carpenter is the best, man. Yeah, anyways. Does look a lot different than the regular Chucky. And my favorite is Texas Chainsaw Massacre '03. There you go. Oh man, did I do it again? This cord is really weird today. Sorry, I cut out again. I don't know. I just barely touched it. I barely touched that cord, and it cut out again. It looks like I'm still on though. Okay. Cronenberg is one of those directors I forget about. He's kind of similar to Carpenter to me, where he makes a lot of good stuff, and yet for some reason I forget about his movies a lot. I don't know why, because I love them all. I'm like, oh yeah, Cronenberg did that movie. Oh, he did that movie, and it's like, yeah, that was actually, and The Fly was one of those movies that I really like. I don't know. I really like it, and I've never seen the original The Fly, so I don't really know what to base my liking on. But as a movie on its own, I love it. John Carpenter's version of The Thing was awesome, and you know what? Another thing is, it wasn't well received at the time it was released. Those were tough years for Carpenter in the early '80s. He was not getting his vision of Halloween the way he like the sequels for Halloween, the way he was wanting, and a lot of people didn't like The Thing. I don't know. It's too bad. Now we can look back at those films. Now we look back at like Halloween 3, which he didn't make that. He was a producer or whatever on it, but that was like his vision for where the Halloween movies should go, and it was so rejected at the time. But now it's well liked by a lot of people. It still has its haters out there. Haters gonna hate. Haters gonna hate. Hey, I hate a lot of movies too. It is the way it is. But it's gained the following now, right? And The Thing was one of those movies that kind of slowly gained following over the years. Whereas I feel with Halloween 3, it's kind of really only the last 5 or 10 years where I can see the following come, that people liking it. Yeah. Whereas I feel like The Thing has been slowly getting more following since its release. And it's too bad it didn't do well when it was first released, but I'm sure Carpenter can look back at that movie and say, hey, it's a great movie. Glad I didn't make any money off of it, whatever, Oh, I'm sure he made something off of it. It's more the movie companies, the studios that lost on that movie, and a couple of other of his ideas at the time. He was ahead of his time, I think. I ultimately think Carpenter was ahead of his time, and people weren't totally ready for everything he was putting out. That's my 2 cents on Carpenter, and yeah, these are both great films. If you haven't seen them, if you haven't seen either, go see them. That's all I can say. Both great films, and again, great endings. Both of them great endings, by the way. I know some people don't like the ending to The Fly. I do. Some people don't. Let me know in the comments if you like the ending to The Fly. I'm not going to say what the endings are because I don't want to spoil them for anybody that hasn't seen them. I have no idea if anybody in the chat has not seen them or not. But anyways, they're great films. Yeah, that's all I got to say. So tell me in the comments if there's any other films I should go see that are remakes. Because I am very open to watching remakes. Unless I know they're going to be crap. I look at all films as that they are films, whether it's a remake or not. I don't, go say, hey, that's a remake to that film that was a classic, so it shouldn't, I shouldn't go watch that film. I'm not that kind of guy. If it looks like it's going to be an interesting film to me, I'll watch it. That's just me. If it looks interesting. Maybe it'd be a film I've never seen the original for. There's still a lot of original old films I haven't seen. Did anybody see the remake to Cabin Fever? That's one I forgot. I think Eli Roth did that, right? I saw the original, didn't see the remake. I didn't love the original though either, so it was okay. It's just kind of, it's okay, whatever. But yeah, if you, I don't know. Let me know if you in the comments if you've seen that. Oh, Camp Blood Media gotta head out. You know what? I gotta head out too, there, guys. It's 12 minutes after 9, so this might be my last show of the year. I don't think it will be. I think I can squeeze one more in before Christmas. If not, it will be my last show of the year, or at least that one will be my last show of the year. Try to squeeze one in early next week. You guys are once again awesome. Sorry for the technical difficulty again. I'm gonna have to go back into my settings and fix it. I don't know what's going on. OBS technology. But I'll figure it out. I'm sure next show I'm gonna make sure that does not happen. I think. But thank you guys for tuning in. Hey, if you're new here, do hit that like and subscribe button. Help me get to I'm over 800 subs now. Help me get to 1,000. I want to get to 1,000 subs before my next Indiegogo campaign in March. We want to have a great audience for that next campaign. I will be keep plugging it. You guys can pre-order for the next campaign now. You just gotta send me a message over social media. Chainsaw Sawyer, the Sawyer Massacre is on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all that stuff. Links in the descriptions. Thank you guys very much. You guys are awesome. If it is the last one till next year, happy holidays. Same to you, Mandy. Thank you guys very much for tuning in. You guys are awesome as usual. Now listen to some awesome music that I wrote to take you out into the night.